Hello again, dreamer. Get comfy. Let the world fade away. Tonight, we travel to a forest that remembers every dream ever dreamed. Let's begin. In the ancient world, before the invention of standardized shoe sizes, footwear was a rudimentary necessity born from survival and adaptation. Early humans, navigating rugged terrains and harsh climates, discovered that protecting their feet was not just a luxury, but a vital means of enduring their environment. The earliest forms of footwear were simple and functional. Wrappings of animal hides or plant fibers tied around the foot to shield it from sharp rocks, thorns, and extreme temperatures. These primitive coverings varied widely in design and materials, shaped by the resources available to each community. Archaeological evidence suggests that the origins of footwear can be traced back over 40,000 years, with discoveries such as the leather sandals found in Fort Rock Cave, Oregon, dating to approximately 10,000 BC. These early sandals, crafted from woven sagebrush bark, reflect both ingenuity and necessity. Similarly, ancient Egyptian murals depict laborers wearing sandals made of papyrus and palm leaves, while Bronze Age artifacts reveal more sophisticated designs incorporating leather straps and soles reinforced with animal sinew. Each culture adapted its footwear to suit local conditions. Cold climates favored insulated boots made from fur and hide, while warmer regions relied on lighter sandals or even barefoot adaptations. The lack of standardized sizing during this period meant that footwear was inherently bespoke. Shoes were often handmade by individuals for personal use or by skilled artisans within small communities. Measurements, if taken at all, were approximate and based on the wearer's foot dimensions. Tools like wooden lasts, a basic form resembling the human foot, were introduced in ancient Greece and Rome to aid in crafting custom shoes, but these were far from the precise templates we know today. Without standardization, every pair of shoes was unique, tailored to fit the individual who commissioned them. This era of bespoke craftsmanship set the stage for centuries of innovation and adaptation. As societies grew more complex, so too did the demands placed on footwear. That transition from purely utilitarian designs to items of status and identity began to take shape, particularly in civilizations like ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, where ornate sandals symbolized wealth and power. Yet, despite these advancements, the absence of consistent measurement systems remained a defining characteristic of early footwear. People wore what they could make or acquire, and the concept of fit was deeply subjective, varying from person to person. Thus, the history of shoe sizes begins not with numbers or charts, but with the raw ingenuity of humanity striving to protect itself. It is a story rooted in survival, creativity, and the ever-evolving relationship between humans and their environment, a foundation upon which future innovations would build. As we delve deeper into this narrative, it becomes clear that the journey towards standardization was not merely about convenience, but about reshaping how society perceived individuality and uniformity. As societies evolved beyond mere survival, the need for more refined and functional footwear became increasingly apparent, ancient civilizations recognized that footwear was not only a protective necessity but also an extension of cultural identity and social standing. This realization spurred the development of rudimentary measurement systems designed to create more precise and consistent footwear. In ancient Egypt, one of the earliest known attempts at standardized measurements emerged through the use of cubits, a unit based on the length of the forearm from elbow to fingertips. Artisans employed this system to craft sandals that adhered to proportional guidelines, ensuring a degree of consistency across different pairs. Similarly, ancient Greece advanced the concept of measurement by introducing the dactylus, a unit equivalent to the width of a finger. Greek shoemakers used wooden lasts carved to specific proportions, allowing them to create sandals that conformed more closely to the contours of the human foot. These early efforts laid the groundwork for a more systematic approach to sizing, though they remained localized and inconsistent across regions. Roman craftsmen further refined the process by adopting the pas, a standardized unit of foot length, which allowed for greater uniformity in military footwear, an essential consideration for equipping legions with durable, well-fitting calagae leather sandals. Despite these advances, the absence of universal standards persisted throughout much of antiquity. Regional variations in measurement units created significant challenges, particularly in trade and commerce. For instance, a sandal crafted in Athens might not fit a traveler from Corinth due to differing interpretations of size and proportion. This inconsistency highlighted the limitations of localized systems and underscored the growing need for a standardized framework. The Middle Ages marked a turning point in the evolution of measurement systems, driven by the rise of urban centers and the burgeoning trade networks of Europe. Guilds of cobblers and shoemakers emerged as influential entities, codifying practices and establishing informal guidelines for sizing. During this period, the English introduced the barleycorn, a unit equal to 1/3 of an inch, as a basis for measuring foot length. This innovation provided a tangible reference point, allowing shoemakers to produce footwear in incremental sizes. However, discrepancies still abounded, as regional preferences and materials dictated variations in shoe construction. By the Renaissance, the demand for precision in footwear had reached new heights, fueled by shifts in fashion and the increasing mobility of populations. Innovations in tools, such as adjustable lasts and measuring sticks, enabled cobblers to achieve greater accuracy. Still, the lack of a universally accepted system meant that sizing remained a patchwork of localized conventions. A cobbler in Florence might measure a foot differently than one in Paris, leading to confusion and frustration among consumers. It was against this backdrop of fragmented practices that the seeds of modern shoe sizing were sown. While early attempts at standardization were imperfect and limited in scope, they represented crucial steps toward addressing the inefficiencies of the past. These innovations not only reflected the practical needs of society, but also hinted at the profound cultural shifts that would shape the future of footwear. As we move forward in this narrative, it becomes evident that the quest for uniformity was not merely technical but deeply intertwined with broader societal transformations. The Industrial Revolution, spanning the late 18th to the early 19th century, brought about seismic shifts in nearly every aspect of daily life, including the production and standardization of footwear. Before this transformative period, shoemaking was a labor-intensive craft dominated by skilled artisans who painstakingly handcrafted each pair of shoes to fit individual customers. While this bespoke approach ensured quality and attention to detail, it was inherently inefficient and inaccessible to the majority of the population. The advent of mechanized manufacturing, however, revolutionized the industry by enabling mass production and introducing the first truly standardized sizing systems. One of the most significant developments during this time was the invention of the sewing machine, which drastically reduced the time and effort required to assemble shoes. Elias Howe's lock-stitch sewing machine, patented in 1846, and later improvements by Isaac Singer, allowed shoemakers to stitch leather and fabric with unprecedented speed and precision. This technological leap paved the way for factories to produce shoes on a scale previously unimaginable. Factories in cities like Lynn, Massachusetts, and Northampton, England, became hubs of industrial shoemaking, churning out thousands of pairs annually. The ability to mass-produce footwear necessitated the creation of a uniform sizing system to ensure that shoes could be manufactured in bulk and distributed widely without requiring custom fittings. Enterprising figures like Edwin Simpson and Charles Goodyear Jr. played pivotal roles in advancing the standardization of shoe sizes. Simpson, a British inventor, developed one of the earliest comprehensive sizing systems in the mid-19th century. His system, based on the English barleycorn unit, divided foot lengths into precise increments, creating a numerical scale that remains foundational to modern sizing. Meanwhile, Goodyear Jr., son of the famed rubber vulcanization pioneer, contributed to the mechanization of shoe production through his work on automated cutting and stitching machine. These innovations complemented sizing systems by ensuring that factory-produced shoes adhered to consistent dimensions. The introduction of standardized sizing had profound implications for accessibility. For the first time, ready-to-wear shoes became affordable and available to the working class, democratizing an item that had long been a luxury reserved for the wealthy. Department stores and mail-order catalogs capitalized on this newfound accessibility, offering a wide range of sizes to cater to diverse populations. Consumers no longer needed to visit a cobbler for custom fittings. Instead, they could simply refer to a sizing chart and purchase a pair of shoes off the shelf. This shift not only transformed shopping habits but also altered societal expectations of convenience and affordability. However, the transition to standardized sizing was not without its challenges. Early systems were often inconsistent, with slight variations between manufacturers and regions. For example, American and European sizing charts diverged significantly, causing confusion for international buyers. Additionally, The rigid nature of factory sizing failed to account for the nuances of individual foot shapes, leading to complaints about ill-fitting shoes. Despite these drawbacks, the benefits of standardization outweighed the shortcomings, as it laid the groundwork for the global footwear industry we know today. The Industrial Revolution thus marked a turning point in the history of shoe sizing, bridging the gap between artisanal craftsmanship and modern manufacturing. By introducing efficiency, uniformity, and accessibility, this era set the stage for future innovations that would continue to refine and expand sizing systems. As we delve deeper into subsequent chapters, it becomes clear that the legacy of industrialization extends far beyond the factory floor, shaping the very way we think about and interact with footwear. As the world embraced the advantages of standardized shoe sizing, a new challenge emerged: the lack of a universal system. Different regions and countries developed their own approaches to sizing, reflecting local customs, body types, and historical influences. These disparities have persisted into the modern era, complicating global commerce and consumer experiences. Understanding these variations requires examining the distinct methodologies and philosophies behind each system, from the metric-based precision of Europe to the imperial roots of the United States and the hybrid approaches adopted in Asia. In Europe, the Mondo Point system stands as one of the most scientifically rigorous sizing frameworks that developed in the mid-20th century. This system measures foot length and width in millimeters, offering a high degree of accuracy. Unlike older methods that relied on arbitrary units like barleycorns, Mondo Point aligns with the metric system, making it particularly intuitive for countries accustomed to centimeters and millimeters. This system has gained traction in specialized industries, such as military and athletic footwear, where precision is paramount. However, its adoption remains uneven across the continent, with many European nations continuing to use traditional sizing charts based on localized norms. For instance, French and German sizing differ slightly despite sharing geographical proximity, underscoring the persistence of regional preferences. In contrast, the United States employs a system rooted in imperial measurements, which traces its origins to the barleycorn-based scales of 19th century England. American shoe sizes are determined by increments of 1 3-inch, beginning at size 0, a theoretical baseline representing the shortest possible adult foot. This system, while straightforward, introduces complexities when considering half sizes and variations for men, women, and children. Moreover, inconsistencies arise when comparing use sizes to those of other regions. For example, a U-settle, women's size 8, corresponds to a U-settle K, size 6 and a European size 39, highlighting the potential for confusion in international markets. Such discrepancies are compounded by the fact that manufacturers occasionally deviate from official standards, further muddying the waters for consumers. Asia presents a unique blend of traditional and modern sizing philosophies. Countries like Japan and South Korea have adopted hybrid systems that incorporate elements of both metric and imperial frameworks. Japanese sizing, for instance, uses centimeter-based measurements, but adjusts for cultural preferences regarding snug fits. Korean sizing, meanwhile, tends to prioritize narrower widths, reflecting average foot shapes in the region. China, as one of the largest producers and consumers of footwear, has developed its own sizing chart based on foot length in millimeters, though variations exist depending on the manufacturer and intended market. These regional differences underscore the challenges faced by multinational brands attempting to cater to diverse populations. The impact of these global variations extends beyond mere inconvenience. For consumers, navigating multiple sizing systems can lead to frustration and dissatisfaction, particularly when purchasing shoes online or while traveling. A study conducted in 2020 revealed that nearly 40% of online footwear returns were attributed to sizing issues, with cross-border transactions accounting for a significant portion of these cases. Retailers face similar challenges, as they must maintain extensive inventories to accommodate various sizing standards or risk alienating customers. Some companies have attempted to address this issue by providing detailed conversion charts and virtual fitting tools, but these solutions are often imperfect and require additional effort from buyers. Efforts to harmonize global sizing systems have been met with limited success. Proposals for a universal standard, such as expanding the use of Mondo Point, have struggled to gain widespread acceptance due to entrenched regional preferences and economic considerations. Manufacturers and retailers alike are reluctant to abandon familiar systems, fearing disruptions to supply chains and customer loyalty. Furthermore, cultural attitudes toward fit and comfort vary significantly, complicating efforts to establish a one-size-fits-all solution. Ultimately, the persistence of global variations in shoe sizing reflects the broader complexities of globalization. While technological advancements and increased connectivity have brought the world closer together, deeply ingrained local traditions continue to shape how people perceive and interact with footwear. As we explore the next chapters of this story, it becomes evident that resolving these discrepancies will require not only technical innovation, but also a nuanced understanding of cultural and historical contexts. Until then, the quest for a seamless global sizing system remains an ongoing challenge, one that underscores the intricate interplay between tradition and modernity. Understanding the biomechanics of the human foot is central to the evolution of shoe sizing systems and the pursuit of the perfect fit. The foot, a marvel of engineering, comprises 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments, all working in concert to support weight, absorb shock, and facilitate movement. Its complex structure varies dramatically between individuals, influenced by factors such as genetics, age, activity level, and even posture. Recognizing these intricacies has led to significant advancements in ergonomic research, enabling scientists and designers to develop footwear that aligns more closely with the natural contours and functions of the foot. One of the key breakthroughs in this field has been the application of pressure mapping technology. Using specialized sensors embedded in insoles or testing platforms, researchers can analyze how weight is distributed across the foot during various activities, such as walking, running, or standing. These studies reveal critical insights into the areas of the foot that bear the most stress, helping manufacturers design shoes with targeted cushioning and support. For example, data shows that the heel and ball of the foot absorb the majority of impact forces, prompting the inclusion of shock-absorbing materials in these zones. Similarly, arch support has become a focal point, as improper alignment can lead to discomfort and long-term musculoskeletal issues. Another area of innovation lies in the customization of shoe sizing through digital scanning technologies. Companies like Nike and Adidas have pioneered 3D foot scanning systems that capture precise measurements of an individual's foot shape, including length, width, and volume. These scans generate detailed digital models that can be used to recommend optimal shoe sizes or even create fully customized footwear. Such advancements address the limitations of traditional sizing charts, which often fail to account for variations in foot width, arch height, and toe box dimensions. Custom orthotics, once reserved for medical purposes, are now being integrated into mainstream footwear, offering tailored support for people with specific biomechanical needs. Ergonomic research has also shed light on the importance of flexibility and breathability in shoe design. Studies indicate that rigid materials and poor ventilation can restrict natural foot movement and contribute to conditions like blisters, calluses, and fungal infections. As a result, modern footwear increasingly incorporates lightweight, breathable fabrics and flexible sole constructions that mimic the foot's natural motion. Athletic shoes, in particular, have benefited from these innovations, with features like segmented outsoles and stretchy uppers enhancing performance and comfort. Despite these advancements, achieving the perfect fit remains a complex challenge. And factors such as swelling, changes in foot shape over time, and even the time of day can affect how a shoe feels. Researchers are exploring adaptive materials that respond dynamically to pressure and temperature, potentially revolutionizing the way shoes adapt to individual needs throughout the day. Smart textiles embedded with sensors are another promising frontier, offering real-time feedback on fit and performance. These scientific strides highlight the intersection of anatomy, technology, and design in the quest for better footwear. By leveraging biomechanical insights and cutting-edge tools, the industry continues to push the boundaries of what is possible, ensuring that every step taken is as comfortable and efficient as possible. As we move forward, the integration of personalized and data-driven solutions promises to redefine not only how shoes are sized, but also how they enhance the human experience. Footwear has long transcended its utilitarian origins to become a canvas for cultural expression, reflecting societal values, traditions, and shifting aesthetics. Across history, the design and sizing of shoes have been deeply intertwined with cultural norms, from the ornate embellishments of royal courts to the minimalist silhouettes of modern streetwear. These influences not only shape how shoes are crafted but also determine the criteria for what constitutes a perfect fit, revealing the dynamic interplay between functionality and symbolism. In many ancient societies, footwear served as a marker of social hierarchy and identity. For instance, in imperial China, the practice of foot binding imposed severe restrictions on women's mobility, reshaping their feet to conform to an idealized standard of beauty. This painful tradition, which persisted for nearly a millennium, dictated the creation of tiny, intricately embroidered slippers that symbolized femininity and status. Similarly, in medieval Europe, pointed-toe shoes known as polaines became a hallmark of aristocratic fashion. The exaggerated length of the toes was seen as a display of wealth and leisure. As such, impractical footwear rendered walking cumbersome. These examples illustrate how cultural ideals can override considerations of comfort and practicality, prioritizing aesthetics and symbolism instead. The globalization of fashion in the modern era has further diversified the cultural landscape of footwear design. Traditional styles from around the world have gained international recognition, influencing contemporary trends and redefining notions of fit. For example, the Japanese geta, a wooden sandal elevated on two stilts, has inspired avant-garde designers seeking to merge heritage with innovation. Meanwhile, the rise of athleisure culture reflects a broader societal shift toward casual, versatile attire, blending performance-oriented design with everyday wearability. This fusion of style and function has prompted brands to rethink sizing systems, accommodating a wider range of body types and lifestyles. Cultural attitudes toward gender have also played a pivotal role in shaping footwear design. Historically, men's and women's shoes were differentiated not only by size but also by ornamentation and silhouette. Women's footwear often featured narrower widths, higher heels, and decorative elements, reinforcing societal expectations of femininity. In recent decades, however, the lines between traditionally masculine and feminine styles have blurred, driven by movements advocating for inclusivity and self-expression. Unisex designs, such as chunky sneakers and minimalist loafers, have gained popularity, challenging conventional sizing norms and encouraging manufacturers to adopt more inclusive approaches. Moreover, cultural celebrations and rituals continue to influence footwear choices, emphasizing the symbolic significance of specific designs. In India, for instance, brides often wear intricately embroidered juttas or embellished sandals during weddings, signifying prosperity and marital bliss. Similarly, Native American moccasins are crafted with meticulous attention to detail, incorporating tribal patterns and materials that convey spiritual meaning. These culturally specific designs often require unique sizing considerations, as they must balance traditional craftsmanship with contemporary comfort standards. Fashion trends, too, exert a profound influence on sizing systems, as designers strive to meet the demands of rapidly changing consumer preferences. The cyclical nature of fashion means that styles once deemed outdated can resurface with renewed popularity, necessitating adjustments in production and sizing. For example, the resurgence of platform shoes in the 1990s and early 2020s prompted manufacturers to revisit sizing charts to accommodate thicker soles and unconventional shape. Likewise, the growing emphasis on sustainability has encouraged brands to adopt modular designs that allow for customizable fits, reducing waste and promoting longevity. Ultimately, the cultural dimensions of footwear design underscore the complexity of achieving a universal standard for sizing. As societies evolve and embrace diverse expressions of identity, the definition of a perfect fit continues to expand, encompassing not only physical dimensions but also emotional resonance and cultural relevance. By recognizing the profound impact of cultural influences, the footwear industry can better navigate the delicate balance between tradition and innovation, ensuring that every pair of shoes tells a story that resonates with its wearer. The rapid advancement of technology has ushered in a new era for the footwear industry, fundamentally transforming how shoes are sized, produced, and purchased. From 3D scanning devices to artificial intelligence algorithms, these innovations are reshaping the consumer experience, offering unprecedented levels of precision and customization. At the heart of this revolution lies a commitment to addressing long-standing challenges in fit accuracy, while simultaneously streamlining processes for both manufacturers and retailers. One of the most groundbreaking developments in recent years is the proliferation of 3D foot scanning technology. Devices such as volumetric and Brannick digital scanners utilize infrared sensors and cameras to capture detailed measurements of an individual's foot in seconds. These scans provide a comprehensive analysis of foot dimensions, including length, width, arch height, and even pressure distribution. The resulting data can be used to recommend optimal shoe sizes or guide the creation of fully customized footwear. For consumers, this eliminates much of the guesswork associated with traditional sizing charts, particularly when shopping online. Retailers benefit as well, as precise measurements reduce the likelihood of returns due to ill-fitting shoes, a significant cost driver in e-commerce. Artificial intelligence, AI, has further amplified the capabilities of these technologies. Machine learning algorithms can analyze vast datasets generated by 3D scans to identify patterns and predict the best fit for a given individual. For example, AI-powered platforms like TrueFit use collaborative filtering techniques to compare a user's foot profile with millions of other profiles, recommending sizes based on shared characteristics. This approach not only enhances accuracy but also adapts to evolving trends, such as the growing preference for wide-width options or extended size ranges. AI is also being deployed in virtual try-on tools, where augmented reality overlays allow customers to visualize how a shoe will look and fit without physically trying it on. These innovations are particularly valuable in bridging the gap between online and in-store shopping experiences. Beyond sizing, technology is revolutionizing the production process itself. Additive manufacturing, commonly known as 3D printing, enables the creation of bespoke footwear, tailored to exact specifications. Brands like Adidas and Nike have experimented with 3D printed midsoles, using materials that adapt to the wearer's gait and pressure points. Similarly, startups such as Weave and Zenman specialize in custom orthotics and insoles, leveraging digital scans to produce inserts that address specific biomechanical needs. This level of personalization not only improves comfort, but also promotes sustainability by reducing waste associated with mass production. Smart textiles represent another frontier in the technological evolution of footwear. Embedded with sensors and microelectronics, these materials can monitor variables such as temperature, moisture, and pressure in real time. For instance, Smart socks paired with connected apps can track foot health metrics, alerting users to potential issues like improper fit or excessive friction. Such innovations hold immense potential for athletes, healthcare providers, and anyone seeking to optimize their footwear choices. Despite these advancements, challenges remain. High costs and limited accessibility hinder the widespread adoption of some technologies, particularly in developing regions. Privacy concerns also arise with the collection and storage of sensitive biometric data, necessitating robust safeguards to protect consumer information. Nevertheless, the trajectory is clear. Technology is not merely enhancing shoe sizing. It is redefining the very concept of fit. As we look ahead, the integration of emerging tools like blockchain for supply chain transparency and quantum computing for predictive modeling promises to further elevate the industry. By embracing these innovations, the footwear sector is poised to deliver a future where every step is supported by unparalleled precision and personalization. The environmental footprint of shoe manufacturing has become an increasingly pressing concern as the global appetite for footwear continues to grow. From resource extraction to waste generation, the life cycle of a single pair of shoes involves numerous processes that collectively strain ecosystems and contribute to climate change. However, the emergence of sustainable practices and eco-friendly materials offers a glimmer of hope, suggesting that the industry can evolve in ways that mitigate its environmental toll. Central to this transformation is the role of standardized sizing systems, which can play a pivotal part in reducing overproduction and waste, a cornerstone of sustainable progress. At the heart of the problem lies the sheer scale of the footwear industry. According to estimates, over 24 billion pairs of shoes are produced annually, with synthetic materials like polyurethane, polyester, and PVC dominating the market due to their durability and low cost. Unfortunately, these materials are derived from non-renewable fossil fuels, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions and pollution during extraction and processing. Moreover, many shoes are constructed using adhesives and chemical treatments that release volatile organic compounds (VOCs), posing risks to both workers and the environment. The end-of-life phase exacerbates the issue, as most shoes are neither biodegradable nor easily recyclable, leading to massive landfill accumulation. To combat these challenges, manufacturers are turning to innovative materials that minimize ecological harm. Plant-based alternatives, such as pineapple leather, Penistex, mushroom mycelium, and algae-based foams, are gaining traction as viable substitutes for conventional synthetics. These bio-based materials not only reduce reliance on petroleum, but also decompose more readily at the end of their life cycle. Recycled content is another focus area, with brands like Adidas and Allbirds incorporating ocean plastic, recycled rubber, and post-consumer textiles into their designs. Such initiatives not only divert waste from landfills but also raise consumer awareness about the importance of circular economy principles. Sustainable sizing practices are equally critical in minimizing environmental impacts. Standardized sizing systems help streamline production processes, reducing excess inventory and the likelihood of unsold stock ending up as waste. For instance, brands that adopt precise sizing charts based on global standards can better anticipate demand, avoiding overproduction, a common culprit of environmental degradation. Additionally, advancements in digital tools, such as 3D scanning and AI-driven recommendations, enable consumers to find the right fit more efficiently, lowering return rates and the associated carbon emissions from shipping. Modular designs, which allow components like soles and uppers to be replaced rather than discarded, further extend the lifespan of footwear, aligning with sustainability goals. Efforts to improve manufacturing practices are also underway. Energy-efficient factories powered by renewable sources, waterless dyeing technologies, and closed-loop systems that recycle wastewater and chemicals are being implemented to reduce operational footprints. Certifications such as the Leather Working Group (LWG) and Ecotex provide third-party validation of environmentally responsible practices, empowering consumers to make informed choices. Collaborative initiatives, like the Sustainable Apparel Coalition's HIG Index, encourage transparency and benchmarking across the industry, fostering collective accountability. While progress is evident, systemic barriers persist. The upfront costs of transitioning to sustainable materials and processes can be prohibitive for smaller manufacturers, limiting widespread adoption. Consumer behavior remains another hurdle, as price sensitivity and aesthetic preferences often outweigh environmental considerations. Education and advocacy are therefore essential to shifting mindsets and driving demand for greener products. Ultimately, the path towards sustainability in shoe production hinges on a multifaceted approach that integrates material innovation, efficient sizing systems, and responsible manufacturing. By addressing these interconnected elements, the industry can pave the way for a future where fashion and environmental stewardship coexist harmoniously. As we advance into the next chapter, the role of policy and regulation will emerge as a critical enabler of this transformative journey. The horizon of shoe sizing is poised for revolutionary change, driven by a convergence of technological innovation, sustainability imperatives, and evolving consumer expectations. As we stand on the cusp of this transformation, several emerging trends suggest that the future of footwear will be defined by unprecedented levels of personalization, inclusivity, and environmental responsibility. These advancements promise not only to refine the concept of fit, but also to reshape the entire ecosystem of shoe production and consumption. One of the most exciting prospects lies in the realm of wearable technology and biometric integration. Imagine a world where shoes are equipped with embedded sensors that continuously adapt to the wearer's foot shape and movement patterns in real time. Smart textiles, already in development, could use shape memory alloys or programmable polymers to adjust fit dynamically, ensuring optimal comfort regardless of swelling, temperature changes, or prolonged wear. Paired with AI-driven analytics, these innovations could anticipate and address potential issues before they arise, offering a truly proactive approach to foot health. For example, a runner wearing AI-enhanced sneakers might receive instant feedback on their gait, with the shoe automatically adjusting cushioning or support to prevent injury. This level of responsiveness would mark a paradigm shift, moving beyond static sizing systems to a fluid, adaptive model. Biometric data collection is expected to play a central role in this evolution. Advances in wearable devices, such as fitness trackers and smart rings, are already capturing granular details about human physiology. In the near future, these insights could be seamlessly integrated into the shoe buying process. Picture a scenario where a consumer's biometric profile, collected through a wristband or smartphone app, is transmitted directly to a retailer or manufacturer, enabling the creation of hyper-personalized footwear tailored to their unique anatomical and behavioral characteristics. Blockchain technology could further enhance this process by securely storing and sharing biometric data, ensuring privacy while facilitating collaboration across the supply chain. The sustainability will undoubtedly remain a cornerstone of future sizing systems, as environmental concerns continue to drive innovation. Modular designs, which allow components like soles and laces to be replaced or upgraded, are likely to gain traction, extending the lifespan of shoes and reducing waste. Recycling programs, powered by advanced sorting and decomposition technologies, could enable manufacturers to reclaim materials from worn-out footwear and reintegrate them into new products. Additionally, the rise of digital twins, virtual replicas of physical objects, could streamline production by simulating the performance of different materials and designs before a single prototype is created, minimizing resource use and environmental impact. Inclusivity will also take center stage, with sizing systems becoming more representative of the diverse spectrum of human bodies. Current standards often fail to account for variations in foot width, arch height, and toe shape. Leaving many consumers underserved. Future innovations will likely embrace a more holistic view of fit, incorporating multidimensional data to create truly inclusive sizing charts. Virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality (AR) tools could further democratize access to accurate sizing, enabling shoppers to visualize how different styles and sizes will look and feel without stepping foot in a store. For remote or underserved communities, these technologies could bridge gaps in accessibility, ensuring that everyone has access to well-fitting footwear. Policy and regulation will play a crucial role in accelerating these advancements. Governments and industry bodies may introduce incentives for adopting sustainable practices, such as tax breaks for companies using recycled materials or penalties for excessive waste. Standardization efforts, guided by organizations like ISO, International Organization for Standardization, could establish global benchmarks for sizing and sustainability, fostering consistency and interoperability across markets. Public-private partnerships might also emerge, pooling resources to fund research and development in areas like biodegradable materials and energy-efficient manufacturing processes. As we envision this future, it becomes clear that the journey of shoe sizing is far from complete. What began as a rudimentary necessity has evolved into a sophisticated interplay of science, culture, and technology. The next chapter of this story will be written by pioneers who dare to reimagine the possibilities, blending tradition with innovation to create a world where every step is supported by precision, comfort, and care. In doing so, they will not only redefine how we think about shoes but also reaffirm the timeless connection between humanity and the ground beneath our feet. As we reach the culmination of this exploration into the history and evolution of shoe sizes, it becomes evident that this seemingly mundane topic carries profound implications for society, technology, and culture. What began as a rudimentary necessity for survival has transformed into a sophisticated interplay of science, art, and innovation, a testament to humanity's enduring quest for perfection and adaptability. And the journey of shoe sizing mirrors broader societal shifts, from the Industrial Revolution's drive for efficiency to the digital age's emphasis on personalization and sustainability. Through this lens, the history of shoe sizes reveals itself not as a trivial footnote, but as a microcosm of human progress. From the earliest days of handcrafted sandals to the precision of modern 3D scanning technologies, the evolution of shoe sizing encapsulates humanity's unyielding desire to solve problems and improve lives. The development of standardized systems in the wake of industrialization exemplifies how practical challenges can catalyze transformative innovations. These systems did more than streamline production. They democratized access to footwear, breaking down barriers of class and geography. Today, as we stand on the brink of a new era defined by biometric data and adaptive materials, the same spirit of ingenuity persists, pushing the boundaries of what is possible in pursuit of a better fit. Yet, the story of shoe sizing is not solely one of technological triumph. It is equally a tale of cultural richness and diversity, reflecting the myriad ways in which societies express identity and values through design. Whether through the ornate embellishments of royal courts or the minimalist ethos of contemporary streetwear, footwear has always been a canvas for storytelling. The persistent regional variations in sizing systems underscore the resilience of local traditions, even in an increasingly globalized world. These differences remind us that, while innovation drives progress, it must coexist with respect for cultural nuance and individuality. The environmental dimension of this narrative adds another layer of urgency and responsibility. As the footwear industry grapples with its ecological footprint, the lessons learned from centuries of trial and error offer valuable insight. Just as earlier generations adapted materials and techniques to suit their environments, today's innovators must harness sustainable practices to safeguard the planet for future generations. The integration of eco-friendly materials, modular designs, and closed-loop systems represents not only a response to current challenges but also a blueprint for industries beyond footwear. Looking ahead, the future of shoe sizing holds boundless potential. Emerging technologies like AI, biometrics, and blockchain promise to redefine the concept of fit, making it more precise, inclusive, and adaptable than ever before. Yet, these advancements must be tempered by ethical considerations, ensuring that progress does not come at the expense of privacy, equity, or environmental integrity. Policymakers, manufacturers, and consumers alike have a shared responsibility to steer this evolution in a direction that benefits all. In reflecting on this journey, one cannot help but marvel at how something as ordinary as a shoe size encapsulates the essence of human ingenuity, resilience, and aspiration. It is a reminder that even the smallest details of our daily lives carry the weight of history and the promise of tomorrow. As we step forward into an era of unprecedented possibilities, let us do so with a renewed appreciation for the ground beneath our feet and the stories it tells.